Keep it real. A guy who scored 51 points on 18 of 30 from the field and 7 of 13 from 3 in the last NBA game he played in, the last game of last season against the Dallas Mavericks, should not be unsigned right now. He's got the second most points off the bench in the history of basketball after Lou Williams. He is a go-to big-time scorer, and I can guarantee you can still get buckets at a high level. And if one game's not enough for you, fine. I'll take a look also at a game in January against the 48-win Spurs where he had 22 points, 7 assists on 8 of 12 field goal shooting in a game the Spurs won at the buzzer. Also, he's got the most 4-point plays in the history of basketball. He's a 3-time Sixth Man of the Year. Jamal Crawford is a bucket, and he could help a playoff team. A playoff team should sign Jamal Crawford without question. Again, isolation basketball, which a lot of the playoffs is. Jamal can get to his spot and rise up and score as well as almost anybody. He can do it from 2. He can do it pull up from 3. His nickname, obviously, being JCrossover. He's got a variety of moves he can use to get by his man, and when he does that, again, he's almost unguardable one-on-one. He forces help to come in, and he's not afraid to kick out and find shooters. And again, whether it be hesitations, crossovers, between the legs, anything to get his own shot off, Jamal's got it. He can get to his spot and elevate and score over just about anybody. From 15 to 19 feet last season, he shot 50%. Think about the playoffs when Jimmy Butler and Kawhi and Kevin Durant and all those guys thrive frequently from that mid-range area. Jamal, again, is almost impossible to guard straight up. And that's what a lot of the playoffs come down to. Do you have a guy at the end of the game in the fourth quarters who can cross into his pull-up? Jamal can do that. And again, what do teams play in pick-and-roll defense in the playoffs? They play this drop coverage. They're all the way back at the rim. The shot was wide open for Kawhi, for Jimmy Butler, last year's playoffs. Wide open mid-range pull-ups. A guy who shoots 50% from 15 to 19 feet and is known in basketball circles as one of the best mid-range players year after year. I'm riding with him in the playoffs. Again, when things get noisy, defenses start putting pressure on you, and you've got to just put your head down, come off the screen, and pull up even with a defender right in your face. Jamal's got as smooth of a release as anybody. He can light it up in a hurry. When he gets hot, there's nobody that stays hotter better than him. When it comes to S-dribbling, keeping his man on his back, and again, getting to his spot, his kill zone, he does it as well as anybody. Again, these are from 2 games. Talk about how hot this guy gets. Not fouled here, but the most 4-point plays in NBA history. He can pull up from 3, from 2, from 5 feet, 7 feet, 10 feet, and on top of that, he's not just one-dimensional. In my opinion, an underrated passer. He can run a team. He's a decent lob passer. He's much better at that than people give him credit for. Can certainly play the backup point guard or be a secondary ball handler. Imagine him throwing lobs to JaVale and AD. People might call him selfish at times. He's never going to be confused for Steve Nash, but he is more than a willing passer. He might just not have always had the best guys to finish for him, but he makes the right basketball play consistently. He is not afraid to find his teammates and will not put himself above winning games, especially in the playoffs. Again, when it comes to running a team, these are the things I'm talking about. On this play that's designed to be a decoy, high pick and roll, to end up actually being a pin down for Devin Booker. Look at Jamal have the ball in his right hand at first, set it up, cross it back to his left. Now he's got the perfect passing angle and delivers a perfect lead pass to Devin Booker coming off the pin down. You're not seeing double. Here it is again. Another perfect bounce pass that he finds. These things are underrated. Coaches appreciate these things. When it comes playoff time, you need high IQ guys that know how to play the game, the little tricks to find their teammate. When he's spotting up, teams aren't going to help off him. That's an added benefit, okay? He can play on and off the ball. When he's here, you're not leaving him. And if you do leave him, you know what? He's going to make you pay. When the ball finds him on catch and shoots, he shot 37% on catch and shoots from last season. And it's not just catch and shoot, it's also off-ball actions like this hammer screen. Coming to the corner, he can get his feet set and get his shot off. He's got a great high release at 6'5". Off dribble handoffs, no problem. He could do that too. Off little rip screen, come right into dribble handoffs. He's got a whole lot of different tricks to get open, to get his shot off. And again, if you lose him, if he's freed up for even a second, he's going to make you pay. Defense, is he known as the best defender in the world? No, but he's perfectly competent on that end as well. He's capable of closing out, playing good game plan defense. He's got decent hands. He can get some steals for you. And he's going to fight most of all. He's a veteran with pride. He's not letting himself get punked. And when he gets the ball, again, that's when he becomes a threat in transition for himself or his teammates. What teams could he help? Well, I know there's an Eastern Conference team that's down a lot of bodies, that's playing guys out of position, and could certainly use a point guard that knows how to play as well as he does. Could it be the Lakers? You tell me. On LeBron's post up here, when he gets doubled and attracts attention, do they have enough spacing on the floor right now with Rondo, Dwight, and Markieff Morris? I'm not sure. I know he can certainly do that. KCP's had a phenomenal season, but you don't want him handling the ball that much. Rajon Rondo's going to pass up some shots, and LeBron's going to pass up some shots. Certainly unselfish, but in the playoffs, we know they've got Bron, they've got AD. Do they have another go-to scorer to go to at the end of the games? A guy who's not afraid, who's going to take his shot? Again, love Rajon Rondo. Super underrated by NBA Twitter, but do you want him taking step-back threes at the end of a shot clock? Probably not. Same thing with Marcus Smart, one of my favorite players in the league. Is that his game? No, it's defense, it's hustle, it's making the open threes. Love this rookie, Carson Edwards, but is he ready for that pull-up in the playoffs? Is he going to take these shots if Boston goes deep in the playoffs? Love Brad Wanamaker. Knows how to run a team. Super heady, but a little too unselfish too. If he passes up shots like this in the playoffs, is this guy Green going to play for them and be able to get buckets when it comes down to it? Our team's watching Houston, switching everything. Been a top 10 defense since they've gone all small ball. I had a NBA championship contending team, the coach with them, tell me they've started watching Houston film just to find ways to score against them. That's how well Houston's playing defense right now. They are super locked in. If you're a Western Conference team, do you have enough guys who can get their shot off the dribble in ISO situations, one-on-one like Jaylen Brown does here? Do you have a guy who can just get a bucket, who can elevate over P.J. Tucker and shoot? I know Jamal Crawford can make those shots. I talked to a Phoenix Suns coach from last season, told me Jamal was phenomenal in the locker room, was a consummate pro, gave them no issues whatsoever, and he can absolutely still play. A playoff team should sign Jamal Crawford, JCrossover. He should be back in the league on a playoff team, eligible to play, and ready to help a team compete for a championship. Thanks for watching. Make sure you thumb up, hit that subscribe button. Scout with Bryan, Twitter, Instagram, the podcast. Talk soon.